Hey boys and girls, welcome to Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, a game I like to praise as the remake of the very first game that truly got me truly invested into gaming in the very first place, and honestly a great remake to boot, as well, mixing not only Sapphire and Ruby with Emerald, but also adding stuff on top of the original adventure, like new story beats that never existed beforehand. Overall, making this the best game for me to personally revisit, since I've always wanted to play through Pokemon Sapphire for you guys, and honestly, I think enough time has passed since the last time I played through the Hoenn region, about a couple of years now, to be honest, making this the perfect time for a fresh re-adventure to a world I hold on quite a high pedestal. So honestly, let's get right on in here, since I'm going to be honest, it's been quite a bit since I've actually wanted to go through Sapphire for you guys. And honestly, Alpha Sapphire is not a bad one to start with, honestly, since, well, it is a much upgraded version of the original game, so honestly, it's pretty much perfect, honestly. It's the only real difference is the designs between Archie and Maxie. And that's pretty much the only difference that I really think there was between the two games when it came to, like, major differences between the two games, pretty much. Other than, obviously, new story beats and stuff like that. Obviously, those are definitely new. But honestly, here we go.
Hi, sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name's Birch, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. And this is what we call a Pokemon.
I really like this intro, by the way. It's a nice reference to the original game. But, honestly, definitely with everything going on, I'm definitely gonna like this.
This is a world widely inhabited by creatures called Pokemon. We humans live alongside Pokemon at times, playing together as friends, and at times helping one another out. And sometimes, we just like having fun battling others like us. But as close as we are, we don't know everything about Pokemon. In fact, there are still many mysteries surrounding Pokemon. I do research to try to unravel those Pokemon mysteries, but there's still a lot more to be uncovered.
And that is quite true, in fact, just based on the fact that with every single game that comes out, more and more Pokemon are discovered. So, yeah, there's quite a lot of them. Let's definitely be honest there. And on top of that, the stuff with, like, Ultra Sun and Moon in general with the Ultra Beasts and stuff like that. Honestly, that is pretty true. In a lot of ways.
What about you? Are you a boy or a girl?
Obviously, gonna go with the boy character, but still, it's pretty cool to see May in here, to be honest. But, I always forget the main character for this game. But when it comes to the male character, but that's mostly because usually when you play the male character, or the girl character will get the male character's voice, and obviously if you play the male character, you'll get May's character name, obviously, but still, I always forget this kid's name. I know for trying to get it, for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or Gold, Silver, and Crystal, obviously the main character's name is Ethan. For the main character. I don't know how I know that one. I guess it's because my brother's name, but still though, but it's still odd. But, or I should say half-brother, but still though, just in general, it's definitely interesting how I remember that character's name, because he doesn't really show up after Heart Gold and Soul Silver much in any real media, other than, I guess you could say, like, the mangas or the comic books. But honestly, definitely gonna go with you. Will you give me your name? Oh, wait.
Will you give me your name as well?
Forgot, that's still going under Birch's voice. But honestly, obviously, we're gonna go with the male character. Just because, for me, it makes more sense to have May as a non-playable character, because obviously, May is in the shows. So, honestly, I'd like to have a little bit of an adventure with a character that is in the actual shows as is, so it would be better.
So you're Spooks.
Yep, that's indeed true.
I see. You're that Spooks. You're the one who's moving to Littleroot town, where I live.
That is indeed true. And with that being said, we are now officially ready.
Are you ready? Your very own adventure is now about to unfold. Be courageous and leap into the world of Pokemon where dreams, adventures, and friendships await. I expect we'll be meeting again soon. Come see me at my Pokemon lab, okay?
Okay, and with that being said, honestly, we are now officially in the Hoenn region. And a cool little fun fact about this game, obviously, as you can see by the fact that we're in obviously a moving truck, well, we aren't actually from here. So that's actually a nice little introduction to the adventure, for sure. But honestly, with that being said, honestly, we're here in the Hoenn region, and honestly, Littleroot Town is definitely a good place to start. And honestly, just being in the town where the Pokemon Center, Pokemon actual professor is actually a good thing too, because, well, we don't have to go out too far to find him, like with Pokemon Diamond or Pearl, where they were outside of town for the most part, but we just got lucky with them being at the lake, for Professor Rowan.
Spooks are here at last. Was it a tough riding in the back of the bumpy moving truck all the way? Well, this is Littleroot Town. What do you think? This is going to be our new home. It has a quaint feel, but it looks like it should be a nice place to live, don't you think? And you get your own room this time, Spooks. Come on, you have to see the inside.
Okay, with that being said, on the inside we go, honestly. But we're definitely going to be getting a nice introduction to everything here first. I will have to admit that, because that's one big thing about the beginning of the Hoenn region that I remember quite like a lot, honestly. For the beginning is something that I remember like to a T, to be honest, since, well, let's be honest here, like I said, it's the first game that I ever really got invested into, so obviously I'll remember the beginning, for sure. But, honestly, with the fact that it has been a couple of years since the last time I had played through, well, Alpha Sapphire, not the original Sapphire and Ruby, that's been a long time, but for Alpha Sapphire and Ruby, Omega Ruby, it's been a little bit, for sure. Definitely at least 5 years, for sure. But honestly, I might forget some things, honestly, but maybe that's a good thing, since then it'll be like rediscovering things for you guys and for me. But honestly, here we go.
See, Spooks, isn't it nice in here too?
It definitely does look pretty roomy, but definitely empty. But that makes a lot of sense since we just got here.
The moving company's Pokemon even help with the unpacking and cleanup. They really make moving a cinch.
Definitely seems that way. Looks like we got a Machokes doing all this. Surprised it's not Machamps. That would make more sense, honestly. But maybe they never were able to trade their Pokemon. But technically, I guess you could trade your own Pokemon to a fellow coworker, and then you would get your Machamp, I guess, for the moving company. I never really understood why they chose Machoke over Machamp for this.
Thank you for all your hard work. We really appreciate it.
Honestly, yeah, true. Thank you, Machokes. Well, we'll be seeing you, I guess, well, never again, I guess, but still, we'll be seeing you.
You should go and see your new room upstairs, Spooks. Dad even bought a new clock for you. For it to help you celebrate the big move. You'll need to set the time, though.
That is definitely one major difference right there, for sure, that is majorly different between, well, any other Pokemon game is, well, you actually have a father in this game, which is not something that is much of a thing in any other Pokemon game, surprisingly, because usually they're not there in the game or mentioned whatsoever. So I always thought that was interesting with Hoenn, is that, well, the father is actually mentioned, and he actually is a part of the story, so it's something interesting for sure. The clock on the wall isn't moving. You got to set the time, and obviously it's going to set it to the real time, but if you were playing with, well, Sapphire or Ruby, you would actually be able to set your own time, which is pretty cool. The hour hand was set to 10, and the minute hand was set to 26. Obviously, 10:26. And honestly, we'll definitely take it.
How do you like your new room, Spooks? Good. Everything's been put away neatly. They finished moving everything in downstairs too. It really is so nice having Pokemon around to help us. But you should make sure that everything's all there on your desk.
That is definitely a good thing to do. But honestly, I should know the controls. I'm pretty sure this was just the controls for the game. Yep, pretty much just the controls. Press the X button if you want to save. And honestly, I think we're perfectly set to get on into the story, since there's not much we're going to be needing to know for, like, button-wise, so we'll be good.
Oh, Spooks, come quickly.
Okay, well, come quickly. What is it, what is it, Mom?
It's a Petalburg gym. Maybe Dad will be on TV.
Let's see. Interviewer. We brought you this report live from in front of Petalburg Gym. Next up, a special look at a long-awaited meteor shower in the next star show. Meteor shower. Sounds pretty cool.
It's already ended. Looks like your dad was on, but we missed his parts. What a shame. But that reminds me. One of Dad's friends lives in this town. Professor Birch is his name. He lives right next door, so you should go over and introduce yourself.
That is definitely probably a good idea. So, thank you, Mom, but we'll be making our way next door and see if we can go and find him. But obviously, right over here is Professor Birch's house. But let's get on right in, since that is definitely the first step to our adventure. But, hello. Hello, and you are? You're Spooks, our new next-door neighbor. Welcome. We have a daughter about the same age as you. She has been so excited about making a new friend. She should be in her room upstairs. I hope you'll go and introduce yourself. Well, we'll definitely go about doing so. I do always think it's funny that whenever you go into rooms, automatically it would take you to, like, a certain room that you're supposed to go to. Because, honestly, they don't show the rooms for the other people in the house. Is something I've always thought about when it came to these games.
Pokemon fully restored. Items all ready, and...
Hey, May. Long time no see. It's been quite a bit.
Who are you?
Well, name's Spooks. Nice to meet you.
You must be Spooks. Your move was today, huh? Well, I'm May. Glad to meet you. I actually have this dream of becoming friends with Pokemon all over the world. And then when Professor Birch told me about you moving here, Spooks. Well, I was hoping you would be nice, and we could be friends. But that's just silly, isn't it? I've just met you, right, Spooks?
It's fine. I've seen a lot of people become friends right when they first meet. It's not very uncommon.
So what am I talking about?
It's all good.
Oh no, I forgot. I was supposed to be going out to help Dad catch some wild Pokemon. Spooks, I'll see you later.
Okay, well, we'll see you later, May. But, obviously, a nice little introduction to our rival of this game, since, obviously, May is going to be one of the rivals. Not going to go too much into detail about that stuff, but, obviously, the main rival is obviously going to be our alternate counterpart to our character, obviously, so might as well mention it since it is true. Pretty true. Also, went the wrong way. Forgot we have to actually go this way. I think I hear someone screaming up ahead. What should I do? What should we do? Somebody has to go help. Well, let's go and see what's going on Route 101.
Help me!
And, obviously, based on the voice, there's good old Professor Birch. You having fun over there, bud?
Hello, you over there. Please help me out. In my bag, there are some Pokeballs.
Well, let's take a look and see what's inside your bag, buddy. And, obviously, we got the starters for the Hoenn region. And, honestly, with the fact of, the 3 here, honestly, I like every single one of the starters for this region. But, if I were to pick one, obviously, I would go with one that was, well, the most nostalgic to me. And if you guys are wondering, this was actually my very first starter in my very first Pokemon game. Well, first real game that I really got invested in. So, honestly, it's definitely time to definitely go with Mudkip. Since, honestly, it's only fitting. But honestly, with a new starter on our radar, as well as a, obviously, quick right into the battle, honestly, it's time to really get into our game. Since now that we have our first Pokemon, well, we're officially a Pokemon trainer, obviously. But, honestly, Poochyena is not going to be too hard here. Definitely do like Poochyena, though. One of the Pokemon I really do like of the Hoenn region. Although not really, like, seen much when it comes to, like, competitive stuff. I always really liked Poochyena.
Woo. I went into the tall grass to survey wild Pokemon when I was suddenly jumped. You saved my hide. Thanks a lot.
No problem, Professor Birch.
But you're Norman's boy, Spooks. I didn't even realize who you were at first. You've grown into quite the young man. This isn't the place for a chat, though. Come along to my lab.
Okay, well, let's go check out your lab. And there's our father's name. Obviously, well, his name is Norman. And, while I could make a Spider-Man joke, I don't think we need to. But I could if I really want to.
So, Spooks, I've heard so much about you from your father, but he said that you don't have your own Pokemon yet. If that's true, that was quite the performance back there. Looks like you really are your father's son. Oh yeah, to say thanks for rescuing me out there, how about I give you that Pokemon you used earlier?
Well, we'll definitely take it. Thank you, Birch. We'll definitely take our Mudkip.
While you're at it, why not give a nickname to that Mudkip you just got?
Of course. Let's go about doing that.
Oh, yep, that's the spirit. So what kind of name will you go with?
Honestly, I could go with a couple names. And honestly, because of the whole Spider-Man thing, you know what? I will go with the joke. Let's name you... Actually, I need to make sure I spell this right, because I think there's a very specific way on nicknaming for the name that I want to go for. Because I want to go with Osborne. Like with, just with like Norman Osborn, kind of like that. But I'm pretty sure with that. I want to make sure about that, because I know it's spelt interestingly. Because the thing is with words like that, you have silent letters in some of them, and sometimes you don't. So, let me double check that, because I want to make sure we name this right, and I'll be right back with you guys. It'll take a second for you guys, but probably a minute for me, so I'll be right back with you guys, just to make sure. Okay, and I actually did have it spelt right the first time. The reason why I got mixed up is because of the fact that, well, like I said, there is two ways to say born, and, well, born with O is the way that you're supposed to do it. But the reason why is Jason Bourne from the Bourne movies. Because, well, that's O-U-R-N-E instead of O-R-N-E. So I need to make sure of that, because that's one thing I always forget with that because of the other movies. So that's why. But there we go. Osborne. And just to, you know, go off the name of the father being named Norman, I thought it would be perfect. But that was literally a quick second decision. I was honestly thinking of going with the name Typhoon originally in my head before even, you know, starting up the recording for today. But, well, honestly, Osborne is definitely a good one with a quick second decision, honestly.
You know, if you work with your Pokemon and gain experience, I think you'll make a pretty excellent trainer. My girl May happens to be out on Route 103 right now, surveying Pokemon for me. It might not be a bad idea for you to head out there that way yourself. What do you think?
Okay, well, let's go and do it.
Great. I'm sure May'll be happy to hear that too. She can help you teach you what it means to be a trainer, of course. Oh yeah. And if you ever get lost along the way, use here and nav on your Pokénav Plus.
don't have anything like that. Well, we have the area nav, but we don't have a PokeNav Plus or any of that.
You could just, you can use it to see to get to Route 103, where it may ought to be. And if your Pokemon get tired, get some rest. Back at your new house.
Of course, of course. Thank you, Professor Birch. And with that being said, we're officially making our journey, to be set up and ready. But let's go and tell, Mom that we're gonna be leaving, real quick.
You feeling okay, Spooks? You look a little tired. I think you should rest a bit.
Well, I guess we don't need to. Thought it would be a good idea, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
Now take care out there, honey.
Of course. But with that being said, honestly, let's get on out of Dodge and get ourselves right into Route 101. And with that being said, our first wild encounter is actually happening right away. And it's a Wurmple. Pretty cool to see. But honestly, Wurmple, well, we don't have any Pokeballs, so it doesn't really matter. But honestly, Wurmple's not a bad Pokemon. I do quite enjoy its actual evolutions, to be honest. Because I feel like you could technically use it for quite a decent amount of time. Well, you can use any Pokemon in the story mode, for sure, obviously, but I always felt like Dustox was pretty good for just, in general. You could get pretty far with the Dustox, even if, it's a Bug-type Pokemon on the first route. It's definitely not a bad Pokemon to start with if you really want to have a good, special attacker. Especially with it being Poison-type and stuff like that. It's definitely not a bad one. But Osborne's now level 6. I'll take it. Honestly, one thing I'm curious about it, what kind of nature did we end up getting for Mudkip? Because that is a good thing to know for later. Because it might affect us later, and it might not. It's a calm nature, so... Ooh. Okay. Let me make sure, because calm, if I remember correctly... So blue would usually be the bad nature, while the red is the good nature, if I remember correctly. So we actually have a minus attack, which is not actually the best thing, but it's not too bad. We can still work around that. Honestly, natures don't really heavily affect you, but if you were doing competitive stuff, then it would be a problem. But still, though, it's definitely not an ideal nature, because we want to have as much attack as we could possibly get. But technically, we can use special attack on Mudkip too, because there's a lot of special attacking water moves, and Mudkip's not bad on the special attacking front. It's just that you preferably want attack to be your higher stat, honestly. If your Pokemon get tired, take them to the Pokemon Center. There's a Pokemon Center in Ordale Town, right close by. Well, thank you, good sir. And honestly, off to Ordale Town we go. And, well, hello, Pokemart person. Hi there. I work at the Pokemarts. From what I can see, you're a novice trainer, am I right? Okay. Being super kind-hearted as I am, I'm going to give you some useful advice. Well, thank you, sir. I'll definitely take some, useful advice if we need it. First of all, that's the Pokemart right there. Just look at our blue roof. We sell a variety of goods, including Pokeballs for catching Pokemon. Well, that's cool to hear. I'd like you to have these as part of our special promotion. Oh, well thanks. I'll take some free potions. Always good to have. You never know when you'll need them. Potions can be used anytime, so they can be very useful to have. And obviously that's the Pokemon Center. I know that one right off the bat. Obviously I know both of them, but still though. And this is a Pokemon Center. Look for the red roof. Ask a woman inside, and she'll restore your Pokemon's health. That's it. That was the advice from me, the supremely kind-hearted clerk. Have a great journey. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Clerk. I'll definitely take what we just gained from you, even though I know that stuff based on the fact that I should know all that stuff. But still, though, thank you. I'll definitely take it. But honestly, to Route 103, since, well, we need to go and find May, and as we can see, she's a little bit up ahead. But honestly, with the fact of everything that's going on, well, also, she did tell us she was going to Route 103 too, to be honest. So honestly, remembering that she said that, obviously you would know to go there, to go find her. But the fact that, well, Professor Birch did tell us to go there in the first place, But honestly, let's definitely go see what's going on with May, since, obviously, that's our first stop. But, hey May, long time no see. Looking into... nice little puddle, I see.
Let's see. On Route 103, I found this Pokemon. And this one too. Oh hey Spooks.
Hello.
What's that? Oh, my dad gave you a Pokemon as a gift, huh? Well then, why don't we go ahead and have a quick battle then? I'll give you a taste of what being, a trainer is really like.
Okay, well, let's get on into it then. For our very first, rival battle of the game, Pokemon Trainer May has now challenged you to a battle. Yes, she definitely has. And one thing to note is, well, she obviously has a Pokemon that is actually super effective to us, which is not seen very often in the newer games. Usually your rival chooses what's weak to you, so this is definitely something to note with this game, because, well, they actually kept what it should be. Because being weak to your rival is honestly not a bad thing sometimes. But, well, sometimes it would be nice to have an easier rival sometimes, but honestly, I liked the idea of having the rival with the stronger, type advantage to you. And I honestly don't really get why they really got rid of it, because, well, honestly, yeah, I guess it's a kid's game, I guess, at the end of the day, but I was a kid when I played through these games, so I never thought it was really that hard. So I never really understood the difficulty change when it came to the rivals. There's still, some of them can be kind of tough in the newer ones, but for the most part, it is weird that they changed it, just because of the, the circumstances. But with that, level 7, honestly, I'll take it. I did not expect to get a level out of that, but I'll take it.
Well, that's great, Spooks. You're pretty good.
And we got $200 for winning. Not bad. We'll take it.
It was a good battle. Thank you. Let me help heal up both our parties real quick.
Oh, I'll definitely take it. It also means that she has a revive on her because her Pokemon got knocked out. So, definitely pretty well stocked, that's for sure. Your team's health has now been restored.
Wow, I think I know why my dad has his eye on you now. I mean, you just got that Pokemon, and you've already got that strong of a bond. I bet you could probably befriend any kind of Pokemon you need.
Honestly, probably so.
Phew. I guess I'd better head back to the lab then.
Well, we'll definitely be heading right behind you. But with that being said, now back to Littleroot Town, since, obviously, we were only supposed to go and get May. And, honestly, well, obviously that's where we're gonna be going.
Spooks over here. Let's hurry back to Littleroot.
Okay, well, let's follow right behind you. But yeah, definitely, with everything to do with the intro for this game, it's not that long for the intro for, just in general, for the Hoenn region. There is, some games in the future games that were, well, technically, I guess you can't say future games anymore, since nowadays they aren't the newer ones, but Sun and Moon had a pretty decently long intro for, it was 2 hours, if I remember correctly. For Hoenn region, it's, pretty quick, honestly.
Spooks over here.
Well, let's head on into the lab and see what's going on with Professor Birch now.
So I hear you beat my May on your first try. That's amazing. May's been helping with my research for a long time, so she has a pretty long history as a trainer already. I think that settles it. Spooks, I ordered this Pokedex for my research, but I think you should take it instead.
And honestly, we'll definitely take a Pokedex, since we'll need it for our adventure, obviously.
That Pokedex is a high-tech tool that automatically makes a record of any Pokemon you meet or catch. My girl May takes hers, with her everywhere she goes. Whenever she catches a rare Pokemon and records its data in the Pokedex, why, she comes to seek me, out wherever I am, in the field, and show me the Pokemon and people you will meet here, and the great expanse of nature that lies before you. Experience them both while you fill in your Pokedex. I'd love it if your world seemed wider than ever. Though I'd love it Even more if you came back from time to time to show me what progress you've made. Hark, I'm getting the itch to get out and do field work again.
You'll probably get chased by another Poochyena. Seeing how you just got chased by one now.
Oh wow, Spooks. Now you've got a Pokedex too. That's great. Just look at me, like me. Then here, I'll give you something too. Some Pokeballs that you can use to catch a wild Pokemon.
And honestly, those will definitely come in handy. But we'll definitely put those in our item pocket or Pokeball pocket, obviously, but still, we'll definitely take those.
If you catch a Pokemon in the wild and battle together with it for a while, it will grow stronger for you. Take that a bit of advice from a more experienced trainer like me. I'm going to get ready to head out from Littleroot soon myself. I can't wait to see what kind of Pokemon I'm going to meet. Let's both do our best on our journey, Spooks.
Well, thank you, May. We'll definitely take that heart. Honestly, let's talk to you real quick before we leave, since you never know, we could miss out on some kind of dialogue.
I wonder where I should go, to look for Pokemon next.
Good question. Good question indeed. What about you, Birch?
The Pokemon and people you will meet, and the great expanse of nature that lies before you. Experience them both and fill up your Pokedex. I'd love to see what love it if your world seemed wider than ever. Though I'd love to see you, come back from time to time.
Okay, he's just repeating himself. I thought it was a little different, but... Well, it looked a little bit different, but... Yeah, that was pretty much what he said before. But honestly, I think it's time to get on out of here. Spooks, wait. Is that May, or... Am I... Oh no, I'm forgetting. I forgot. In the original games, you didn't have the running boots before. This is basically where you get your running boots. But, well, it's obviously changed because of the fact that, well, you start with them. But in the original games, you didn't have the boots to begin with.
Spooks, did you introduce yourself to Professor Birch? Oh, what an adorable Pokemon. You got it from the Professor. How nice. You are your father's child, alright? You look good together with the Pokemon. To think that you have your very own Pokemon now. Your father will be overjoyed, but don't put yourself too hard, okay? If anything happens, you can always come home, honey.
Of course. Well, thanks, Mom. We'll definitely take the, nice pep talk. But, with that being said, we are now officially on our journey. Since, just like that, our tutorial's pretty much over. Although I think there's still one more part.
Spooks.
And that should be May.
This is from my dad. He said he forgot to give it to you before.
Your PokéNav Plus has now been updated. The DexNav function has now been added to your PokéNav Plus.
The app I just added to your PokéNav Plus is called a DexNav. It can tell you lots about a Pokemon living in each area, and that kind of stuff. It's a handy app to have if you're trying to catch lots of different Pokemon. Alright, guess it's about time I use the DexNav to do some more Pokemon catching myself. Spooks, you should use those Pokeballs I gave you earlier to do a bit of catching too.
Okay, and with that being said, well, we should catch at least a Pokemon or two for sure, since having a couple other Pokemon never could hurt us. Let's definitely be honest there. But one thing I should have mentioned before, with Birch being chased around, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure the Pokemon changes depending on the version you play, if I remember correctly. I think in Sapphire and in Ruby, it originally was a Zigzagoon, and then in Emerald it was a Poochyena. And, well, although it's a small change, it is definitely something that I remember happening with the games that I probably should have mentioned earlier. But honestly, not a bad Pokemon to run into first, though. But Zigzagoon, we really don't need. Linoon's pretty cool, but the thing is honestly, I don't think we'll need a normal type on the team. Or at least a first route level, normal type. I definitely like Zigzagoon, but definitely not one that would be good for later when it comes to what we're going to be doing, for sure.
Spooks over here.
Although, if it was the old games and we needed HMs a lot, well, Zigzagoon is your perfect Pokemon for HMs. That is definitely one thing to note.
See that? Right there. There's a tail sticking out.
And that's obviously a Poochyena based on the tail.
There's a Pokemon hiding there.
That's definitely the case.
And look here. If you check your deck stab. Alright, it looks like the Pokemon knows a pretty rare move too.
That sounds like a good idea to go and catch it then.
Spooks. Try getting closer real nice and slow. Push lightly on the circle pad to sneak close to Pokemon hiding in grass, okay? That's what it said in the book I read.
Well, thanks.
You're almost there. Slowly, and I mean slowly. Remember, you can press lightly on the circle pad to sneak.
Okay. With that being said, make sure we go slow, since if you run on accident, you will scare away these types of Pokemon. This is something that's not in the original games, but it is something that, for this game, is how you would, like, shiny hunt, pretty much. But you would specifically go for the same Pokemon multiple times in a row with the sneaking. So if you see that it's not a Pokemon that you're looking for, you leave it alone, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've done any shiny hunting for this game, honestly, but it is something I did for this game, and honestly found a couple of Pokemon when it came to everything to do with, like Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Since I had both the games, and I would go and hunt for Pokemon that you couldn't catch in both games. So there's Pokemon, obviously, you can catch in Ruby, and Pokemon you can catch in Alpha Sapphire. So honestly, it definitely helped when it came to going for certain Pokemon I wanted to catch. And with the fact that Mega Evolutions exist in this realm, honestly, Mega Evolution Pokemons, when they're shiny, there's quite a lot of good ones, honestly. But honestly, we'll definitely take the Poochyena, though. But Osborne's now level 8, and honestly, that'll come in handy for later, too. Because the more levels we have, the better we'll do later. But honestly, with the fact that it has a rare move, might come in handy for sure. But Poochyena is an omnivore. It will eat anything. A distinguished feature is how large its fangs are compared to its body. This Pokemon tries to intimidate its foes by making the hair on its tail bristle out. Poochyena, the bite Pokemon. A dark-type Pokemon with a height of 1 foot and 8 inches and 30 pounds. Not too bad, honestly. We'll definitely take it. And honestly, since we obviously are going to be using it for a little bit, don't know for how long, but honestly, I'll definitely add it to the team, and we'll name you Drake, since I feel like that's a pretty good name. But with that being said, we now officially have our second Pokemon, which is pretty cool, honestly. But let's see what's going on with May now, since now that we got our Pokemon.
That was amazing, Spooks. I've been at this way longer than you, and even I have a hard time sneaking like that without being noticed.
And honestly, getting good at that is actually a good thing. But obviously, not everyone's going to be really, really good at doing the sneaking thing. But honestly, if you can have patience with the sneaking function of this game, you can catch some pretty good Pokemon, honestly. And you can, that's how you would get your IVs too, if I remember correctly, for individual values for breeding and stuff like that. So, it's pretty good. It's definitely a good thing to get, like, tracked down to a T, if you can get it done. But honestly, with that being said, I think we're definitely ready to start making our way out of Littleroot and officially into our journey. I thought I was sketching some rare Pokemon prints. It turned out they were my own footprints. Well, with that being said, off to Route 102. And with that being said, there's actually, obviously, a Pokemon around us, being Wingull, but obviously the deck stab was going crazy for a second there. And that's obviously Zigzagoon. We'll leave the Zigzagoon alone. I think that would be a good idea. Hello there, buddy. If you have a Pokemon with you, then you're an official Pokemon trainer. You can't say no to my challenge. Well, true. Unless this was Scarlet and Violet, you can walk right past trainers, but that is no longer a thing, because obviously that's only the newer game. So, definitely can't be going in front of people and not expecting a fight when it comes to these games, but obviously I talked to him, but still though. Youngster Calvin, also nice Pokemon on your shirt there, buddy. Definitely got to appreciate Sableye. But honestly, Zigzagoon. Definitely, with your shirt, you would think that he would have a Sableye based on that, but honestly, Zigzagoon makes a lot of sense. But, sorry there, buddy, your Zigzagoon is definitely going to have to try a little bit harder than being a Zigzagoon if he wants to be winning this fight. Honestly, kind of curious, though, what kind of moves did we have on... Oh, it had Fire Fang. Okay. That's interesting. Huh. Okay then, that's an actually really, really interesting move. So that was the rare move that this thing had. I'll take it. I'll definitely take a fire type move. I'm wondering if, based on your starter, depends on what kind of move it has. That is a good question. I actually really do wonder about that. That's a good thing to check, honestly. Probably... maybe not because of the fact that there is no grass type, but I guess you could have Thunder Fang, but the thing is so if May had Mudkip, Thunder Fang would technically be a thing that Poochyena could learn if it is indeed that way, but the thing is with Mudkip it becomes a ground type, so technically it wouldn't work at the end of the day for one that it would get. I'm kind of curious about that now that I think about that. I have to look at that after we're done with today's episode. That would be something to definitely look at and make sure of. I got lost. I should have trained mine more. Yeah, level 4 is not doing too much with your Pokemon. I'm gonna be honest. You only gave it a single level. Ooh, new Pokemon in here. We'll definitely take a look. It's definitely not a Zigzagoon, and it's definitely not a Poochyena, based on the fact that it's a Shadow. And it is a Lotad. Oh, cool. Definitely not a bad Pokemon. Although we are a water type, and that's also a water type, so it's definitely not the best Pokemon to add to our team if we were to add it. The grass type could come in handy, but for the most part, yeah, pretty much it's kind of not a... it would take up a slot pretty much. But we will throw a Pokeball at it, since we are in the fight anyways, since we still get the experience for catching a Pokemon, so honestly, if we can catch it, honestly, we'll take it. It'll at least give us a little bit of padding on our team for the time being until, you know, we get other Pokemon. So, honestly, we'll take a Lotad, if it'll want to get into the Pokeball, that is. But it really depends on it, to be honest. But, just like that, 2 Pokeballs, and we definitely got them. Not bad. Cool. We'll definitely take it, since, like I said, it might come in handy later if we need to throw out a Pokemon to just have any kind of, like, padding to be able to heal either Poochyena or our Mudkip, so it might come in handy later. You never know. The Lotad is said to have dwelled on land before. However, this Pokemon is thought to have returned to water because the leaf on top of its head grew larger and heavy. It now lives by floating atop the water. With that being how it's said there, it makes you think that maybe it might get a regional variant in the future. That would be kind of cool. But, honestly, not bad. Cool. But with that being said, the water-weed Pokemon, Watergrass, same height as Poochyena, and 5.7 pounds. So heavier than Poochyena, but about the same heights. Not bad. And I don't think we'll need to give you a name. But we'll definitely add you to the team, though. Just for the time being. And honestly, because we did forget to do something, let's actually go into the Pokédex real quick. Since there's one thing we did forget to do. So let's go to Mudkip real quick. And check out the name, at the Pokédex, since honestly we might as well read it since we're reading the other ones. In water, Mudkip breathes using the gills on its cheeks. If it is faced with a tight situation in battle, this Pokemon will unleash its amazing power. It can crush rocks bigger than itself. Mudkip, the Mudfish Pokemon, water type obviously, 1 foot in 4 inches, but 16.8 pounds. A pretty hefty boy, that's for sure. But honestly, definitely a pretty fun Pokemon though to have, just in general. But honestly, we'll definitely take whatever we can get with any kind of extra Pokédex information if we can. You know, whenever we catch a Pokemon, obviously I'm going to read it, since we did that in all the other Pokemon games we went through in the previous, like, adventures that we've done. But let's see what's going on here. Haha, our eyes met. I'll take you on with my bug Pokemon. Well, bug-type Pokemon. And you only got one. Bug catcher, Rick. You definitely have a Wurmple. Yep. Yeah, you definitely only have a Wurmple. But, you used Pokemon like it was plural. But, yeah, your Wurmple's not gonna do much here, buddy. I'm gonna be honest. I'm definitely gonna be honest there, bud. You're gonna have to try harder than a simple Wurmple to take on my Pokemon at this point. Because, although Wurmple is a fun Pokemon, yeah, I'm gonna be honest there. That Pokemon's not gonna help you much here, in this instance. A level 9 for Osborne? Well, take it, honestly. And there's our first, type of move outside of the current typings we have. But, it'll come in handy later, since, like I said, Water Ground is the types of the Mudkip line, which will definitely come in handy later, so Mud Slap will definitely come in handy. Ow. Down and out. Yep, down and out indeed, buddy. Down you go. Ooh, hello? What are you? I would like to check the nav, but I think you're gonna be disappearing before I get the chance to, because I do have a timer on how long they actually stay in the grass for. So, probably, yeah, actually, Surskit's not bad. But yeah, definitely, with that Dex Dab, it does run out of time, so sometimes you don't get the chance to actually get to the Pokemon to see what's really going on there. But Surskit is definitely not a bad Pokemon. Although, thing is it's still a water type. So, at the end of the day, it probably wouldn't help us, but it is a bug types though. But, yeah, sorry there, Surskit. It'll be probably more padding for later, to be honest. But honestly, I might swap out to Poochyena here after this fight, just to give Poochyena a couple more chances for experience, because the lead Pokemon gets more experience. Although all Pokemon on your party do get experience, it is good to give your other Pokemon experience if they can get it. It is definitely a good thing. But, actually, wait, no, actually it might be remembering this wrong. I think it was changed for the remakes slightly. I forgot about that, actually. I think we still need to find the EXP share, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. It definitely has been a while for that kind of information, but before this, for like X and Y and stuff like that, there was the EXP for every Pokemon that you didn't have to go very far to be able to get experience for every Pokemon after every single battle. But at the current moment, it looks like I did misremember for the remakes that you do need to still find the EXP share in a slight way. But honestly, not bad. If Surskit senses danger, it secretes a thick, sugary syrup from the tip of its head. There are some Pokemon that love eating the syrup. The Pond Skater Pokemon. Honestly, no nickname for you, but you're definitely welcome to the team for padding reasons. Well, it's definitely... Oh, you actually have something on you. What do you have? No, it has honey. So, obviously, like it said, it secretes a syrup like honey. And, well, it definitely has a piece of honey on it. But definitely I'll take that. The free honey is definitely going to come in handy for later. If we need to catch certain Pokemon, one to increase rates of just Pokemon showing up in general, or just in general to have the honey to sell it. It definitely is not a bad thing to have. But honestly, we'll take what we can get, since it's not a bad item to have for sure. But sorry there, Mr. Zigzagoon. Or actually, Mrs. Zigzagoon. We need to get you on out of here. But yeah, let's definitely give Drake a couple extra levels here, since he's probably going to need it, since we're not getting experience for everybody right now. But since we do see some trees here, let's definitely grab out on those. So we got orange berries, and these should be Pecha berries. So we got some nice poison resistance for later, as well as some nice small healing for later as well. So not too bad. Definitely not a bad thing to have. But one thing to note with this game, it's always good to replant your berries, but the thing is we don't have a watering pail yet, so technically shouldn't, because then you don't get the extra berries, and plus they will not grow as fast because you didn't water them, so probably not a good idea to throw them down now. Almost did so, though. Did you just become a trainer? We're both beginners. Well, in essence, yes, but at the same time, heavily no on that answer. But, you can definitely see what you could do as a beginner to me, but yeah, I'm sorry there, buddy. You're definitely not going to be on the winning end of this, even if you think you are. Because 1, you only have 2 Pokemon, and 3, yeah, I just critted you. that added up into 2 and 3 right there, just based on the crit. Because I was going to say Lost being a higher level, but the crit takes up the higher levels right away. It doesn't even matter at that point. 48 experience is not too bad. And also a Talo. Definitely not a bad Pokemon for you to have, but it is only level 2, so yeah, sorry there, buddy. Not a bad Pokemon, though. I definitely do enjoy me to see Talo in general, but yeah, sorry there, bud. Your Talo is a little low for right now, if you want to win this fight. But you might get lucky. That critical will almost help you there, to be fair. But yep, there's the third Fire Fang that we needed to do. But not too bad. Down goes Talo, and down goes our next trainer. And we also got our first level for Drake as well, which we'll honestly take, since he's going to need a couple levels here if he wants to catch up to, well, Osborne in any sort of way in the first place. I challenged you because I thought I could beat you. And 32 for winning. Not too bad. Although, a lot less than the other trainers. But we'll take what we can get. And it looks like we're definitely going to have another one. I'm going to keep winning and aim to be the best trainer. Help me further my career. Well, we'll help you, but you're going to be further in my career, buddy. I'm sorry, but yeah, you're Zigzagoon. Unless it's a high level, yeah, probably not going to win. I'm going to be honest. But technically you are kind of the same, kind of in a way. You're 1 level off. I was thinking we would survive that, but sadly not. But it's not the worst case scenario, since we still have Osborne, and Osborne is level 9, so yeah, sorry there, buddy. Don't think you're going to be standing up too much longer, since 1, you're at half your HP bar is gone, and 2, I'm a couple extra, I'm pretty much double your level, so yeah, definitely not surviving the second round of that water gun spray, but nice try. You definitely tried. You got rid of good old Drake there in 1 hit because of the lower HP because of the last fight, but not bad. I ended up furthering your own career. Yeah, you definitely did. And honestly, I kind of guessed your dialogue there. I actually didn't remember what you actually say there, and I ended up guessing it. But not bad. I actually caught myself off guard with that one. I just said that just in general, just based on what she said. And, well, ended up being what she actually says in the end.
Oh, hey.
Hey, May. Long time no see.
How's it going, Spooks? Have you been using your Dex Nav and perfecting your sneaking skills? I hope you already checked out the Dex Nav detector mode. It reacts to Pokemon in the area, so it's really handy.
It definitely can be handy, but it went off when the Wingulls flew over us, but for the most part, you have to be quick with it, to be fair, if you want to catch Pokemon like that, when they're not exactly Pokemon you can catch at the current moment, for what I'm trying to say. What's going on, May?
Look up there. Check them out, Spooks.
Oh, the Beautiflies. Yeah, they're pretty nice. They have an evolved form of Wurmple. Also, although one of them, there's 2 of them. But, yeah, definitely one of the evolved forms. Not the best one when it comes to my favorite of the 2. But still, though, some people like Beautifly more than Dustox, but for me, I like Dustox more, since it was a Pokemon I've actually used before in a playthrough a long time ago, but still, though, it definitely is a Pokemon I like.
Those were Beautifly, weren't they? I'll have to check in my next stop later to be sure. But wow, we already made it through Route 102, huh? I guess it really is true that time flies when you're with a friend. Look, there's Petalburg already. Spooks your dad. He's a gym leader in Petalburg City, isn't he?
Yep, he definitely is. And now it's been officially dropped that, well, one of the gym leaders is indeed the father of our character, which is pretty interesting, honestly.
Maybe I should try to take him on myself, once I train up my Pokemon a bit more. Guess I'm off then, Spooks. Let's meet up again sometime.
Okay, we'll see you later, May. But, with the fact that our one thing is, blinking right now, let's definitely take a look at the next nav. And it should show us the Beautifly. So now it's officially, technically marked down in our Pokedex. So, now if we see one, we'll know that it's in the area, pretty much, is how that works. Also, apparently there's a Pokemon around here. Although I'm not really... Oh, it's a Lotad. We don't need to worry about that, but that's how you would know what Pokemon are in the area when it comes to the Pokénav and stuff like that. So if you guys are wondering how that works, that's how it works. But not too bad, honestly. And with that being said, we're now officially in Petalburg City. And honestly, with the fact that the tutorial is pretty much over, honestly, this might be the best place to end off today's episode. Since, now with the tutorial over, we're now going to be officially in our story from here on out. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, keep being spooky, and honestly, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.